that your child who is graduating is, please make it an investment, make it a sacrifice to appear where they are doing their graduation. Have that picture with our child. If your child is being honored, is receiving one award or the other, please, 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 make sure you are there. Receive the award with the child. I am begging you, because the children are watching. They are keeping record. They might not even understand how tiring, how much you're trying, but they are not seeing it, because they are not seeing it, rather, yeah, because they're not seeing it. So please make this sacrifice. Show up where you need to show up. And maybe you're not in the same city, or there is something or one thing why you cannot be, because you have tried everything possible and this is why you cannot be. This is what I'm saying to you, Daddy. Please let the child know. Let the child know that you really want to be at the graduation, that you really want to see how he or she will be honored, but this came up. Please don't keep silent. Don't assume they know. They don't know. I'm telling you, they don't know. Please let them know. So baby girl, I am supposed to be here. I have tried everything possible. If possible, show them evidence, so that see, daddy loves you. Daddy wants to show up with you, for you. But see, my boss, there's an emergency, something, I am not feeling well, there's this, there's that. Let them know exactly why you cannot attend. Sometimes if it is something that you don't want to open up about immediately, give them an idea. Apologize. Make them know that you feel bad for not being able to attend that graduation, because the person they are seeing is who they are thinking is doing everything. Even when you have put your money in that graduation, let them know that, okay, I gave mommy this, I gave mommy that. And I'll plead with mothers, please let the children also know where their daddy has come in. Sometimes if you're married to a fantastic man, and maybe this period the things are not happening the way, or are not going the way they should go, cover up. Let them know that daddy is here, that daddy is the one that is bringing this thing, or daddy brought this, daddy brought that, because it also elevates the way they see that. This period is a very critical period in children's life. They will never forget what happened in this season. They will never forget who was there for them in this season. They will never forget who they saw doing everything to ensure that their graduation was a success. They will never forget the person that made them look good before their fellow friends. The stories they are going to share with their friends, the things they are expecting, they will not forget. And daddy, I would really love you to deposit this, and this is another opportunity for you to deposit. Go there, take pictures. Let the pictures be kept for memory's sake. And 10 years from now, 20 years from now, recreate even that picture, that thing that you want to have in the future. Do as much as you can, and I am trusting that God is going to help you to show up this season, and show up very well. Okay, thank you for that. That's intro. Thank you for following that intro, and I'm just going to go ahead and call our first caller to hear what this person has to say about the things that marked his or her life when with her daddy growing up, or even now. Okay, we are just And I am also happy to tell you that this is one of the things that mark the children's life. This graduation thing, it marks, like, it can really make a difference. Hello, Gift. How are you today?
I'm very well. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. So my name is Favor, and you are on Overt Radio on a program that is called Fatherhood Gist with Favor.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are having a very interesting conversation around the things that your daddy did for you when you were growing up, or what he's doing now that has marked your life. So let me start with asking, do you have a dad?
Oh yes, I have it done.
Okay. So Is there anything that your dad did while you were growing up that marked your heart, that that made you love your dad, like appreciate him? You look at it and you say, "Ah, you can't forget it." Something that is really, 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 really unforgettable. Is there anything like that?
Let me see. Uh, Nothing that I can remember. Sorry.
Wow, okay. I'm sorry
Nothing
about
that I
that.
can remember.
Nothing that you can remember. Okay,
Yeah.
so now growing up, now as an adult, looking back to your childhood, mixing up with other people, hearing people's stories, is there anything, or are there things that you really wished your father did for you growing up? Things that mattered, or you think that would have mattered?
So, growing up, well, up until now, my mom has been like the breadwinner of the house.
Wow.
So I wish that my dad had stepped up a little, even if it's just helping her out, 20% out of whatever she's doing. But he didn't do 20. He didn't even do up to 10%. He didn't even do 5%. So growing up, my mom has been the everything. So I wish that he had stepped up, or he was, how do I say it now? He provided
Okay.
for us. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's number one. You wished he provided. Let me ask you, on the most important days of your life, did your father show up?
No,
Never did show up.
never did show.
So as you're talking to me now, you say that you don't have any picture, any memory of your dad showing up at any point in your life.
No, I don't.
Was he sick?
He wasn't. He's still very much ill and hurting.
Was he working?
No.
So he has never worked.
He has worked, but I was still like very small when he was working.
And he lost the job along the line.
He willingly stopped by himself.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's been over 22 years since he stopped working. My mom has been the one carrying the house.
Has the mom ever complained to you one day, or has the mom ever given you a stern warning about the kind of man you should marry?
Of course, every time she complains. Every time. Up until this morning, she did complain. And she keeps praying that none of her female children will marry somebody like him.
Okay, so I want to ask you again now.
Yeah.
Aside the fact that he didn't provide, okay, I've even asked, you say there's no memory, there's nothing at all that you can think of, and you will say this is one thing my father did for me that marked my life. Nothing at all in your whole years of being.
I don't even think he knows the name of the primary school I attended. Not to talk of the secondary school, not to talk of the university.
Does your father know the course you studied in school?
He doesn't know my school, so how would he know because I studied in school? He doesn't.
Okay, so I want to go a bit deeper. In your heart, as we are conversing, what is the one tough decision you've made for your unborn children?
To get a good dad for them, a dad that would not only be present, but would also create great memories for them, with them. Very, a very good dad. I know that by God's grace, I'm praying by God's grace that I marry a man that is better than my father.
I'm going to have a very deep conversation with you after, maybe later on, and maybe try to get you to join one of our programs. But let me also ask you,
Yeah.
have you ever asked your father for advice on something before?
I have never.
Because you think he doesn't even have anything to offer?
Because my dad doesn't even listen. He wouldn't stay to have like a conversation with his kids. He won't stay to have a conversation with his kids. So I've not had a deep conversation or asked him for an advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. This is really touching, and I hope fathers are listening. And has this happened? Let me ask you one last question. In what way? What is the greatest impact your father's life has had on you? The greatest impact when you look through your life and you say, because my father was this kind of father, this is what it has cost me. Anything you can think of?
Okay, because of who or how my father is, I don't know, but like I've become independent. I became independent at a very early age.
Okay.
And I have supported my mom. I have been supporting my mom at a very early age. So I don't know if that is a positive or a negative impact.
I can imagine it can have both negative and positive impact, and I can tell you most times the negative is actually more than the positive. Yes, because on the long run, it puts you on a very, very, very fearful place. You're too careful with some things, you are also dealing with some other things and all that. I understand it is a deeper conversation to have, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. Next time when we have this kind of conversation, we'll be happy to call you up. Thank you. And I will let you know when we have a program that you could enjoy or benefit from, and I'm hoping that God is going to answer your prayer and God will give you a fantastic man who will be able to be a great husband and a great father for your kids. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much again, and see you soon.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Please, did you hear that? Did you hear that? If I was the one saying it, you would think, I don't know what I'm saying. But look at somebody saying that there is nothing. In fact, I think I should have asked her a question. When somebody says there is nothing, she means there is nothing about her father that has marked her life. Her father has not done anything since she knew her father. Nothing for her that marked her life. And now she's telling you that for the past 20 something years, her father has not worked and has not supported their mother. Their mother has been the one carrying the whole load. These are the things that we are talking about, the impact of fathers. Some fathers don't even recognize how their impact, how their lives, what they do impact their children. And I can tell you that what she shared with us on the impact it has had on her being independent is just a minute. It is just very minor compared to the deeper things that are happening. She's carrying a lot of father wounds that needs to be treated, I can tell you. Okay, we're going to call the next caller to ask what are the things that mark their lives. Now, I want you to know that this person, the father lives in the same house with them. So in other words, what you think as a father that is making the difference, that shows that you're the father of your children, is not what is showing. This person lives with the father in the same house, but the father does not do anything, does not support the wife with anything, and they are living in the same house. Now, in this father's mind, he is a great father because he is alive and he lives in the same house with them. But you see, there is no impact, no influence, no positive impact or influence whatsoever. So number one, what you think marks the children's life is not it. You're being physically present alone without contributing anything does not mark their heart in any way. Being physically present, you don't have any contribution, no positive contribution, nothing at all. She said that the father cannot even remember, does not even know the school that she attended in primary, in secondary, in the university. The father has never attended anything for her, does not know the course she read. I mean, are you hearing that? Okay, let me calm down. I'm going to call our next guest here right now, and let's hear from her and see what she has to say to us.
Okay, well, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Hi, I hope you're well. How is your day going?
My day's coming along well, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you are on Overt Radio, and this is Fatherhood Gist with Favor. And today we are looking at a very critical topic that is around the things that your father did while you were growing up, or the things your father is doing now that marked your life different, like the things that when you remember them, you really believe that this marked my life. It made me see my father differently. It made me love my father. It changed the way I saw my father and all that. So tell me, is there anything like that?
Yeah, sure. I do have a lot of things that my dad did growing up and also now. When I was much younger,
Okay.
beyond fathers paying for school fees and ensuring that you're in school, I particularly liked the fact that my dad always took me to school. So I was always very proud. Yes, I think the identity, the affirmation was something that I always looked forward to. And also because I saw that whenever we went to school together, it was a bonding moment. Either he was walking me to school when I was in like my nursery and primary school, we would always talk about things, maybe a neighbor, why you should greet, why you should study well. If I did particularly well in a particular course of study that time, he would ask me, to do better. He would always tell me he's proud of me. We always had that conversations when I was going to school, nursery, primary. I also remember very vividly when I was in secondary school, my dad was always fond of driving me to school. So I schooled in a place that was 2 hours away from where my parents lived. My dad took me to school every term, every midterm. My dad was always there. And then he would tell me stories about the town, tell me stories about the locality.
Wow.
However, the dynamics of our relationship have changed now. I'm matured, I'm a responsible adult.
Yeah.
My dad really calls me. We literally talk every other day. He wants to know how I'm doing. Of course, I feel like we really now could talk on a range of conversations. I'm also in a place where I could ask him, so you did this or you said something, I wasn't really sure. Do you want to share on this particular experience? But beyond knowing that I am really well, right now, my dad, one major thing my dad does right now that I really like is that he calls me, he tells me, oh, how are you? How's your work? What are you doing? How is your manager? Are you doing your tax? Do you like where you're working? Like we have those conversations.
Wow.
And that's really very beautiful. Then I also check up on him on his health, and now it feels like we both parent each other. So those things are really, really, they're really dear to my heart. I feel like there are moments for bonding, and they are really things I treasure.
Wow. You see, I like that you remember that your father used to take you to school every single day, and those times, the moment, and you see, it just shows us that it is not even in the big things. I mean, walking somebody to school is not like taking the person for a vacation abroad. So it's not even, it's not even in the big things. This, what you have just said, shows us that the minor things really, really, really matter. Just the minor things. How are you? How are you? Okay, so now I would also want to ask you, aside these things that you have said, is there anything that you really wished your father did while you were growing up? So there's a young father watching who wants to know, what else can I do that doesn't have to cost a lot of money, that doesn't have to be out of budget and all that. What else can I do? What else can I do to mark my children's life? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Is there anything that you think about now and you say, I wish my father used to do this for me? Is there anything like that?
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. Now, I know that in retrospect, when I was much younger, the dynamics of our relationship was really top down. It was more of instruction. You should know this, you should know that. That was the bulk of what my dad did.
Okay.
And now he's more of involved. He's more of a collaborative kind of dynamic. So
okay.
When I was much younger, I wish my dad had really asked me, do you like your... I really wish it was a bit collaborative. I really wish he asked me questions, really prompt answers, and see where my headspace was even as a young girl.
Okay.
But it was unidirectional. It was more giving instructions, telling me, do this, do that. Not necessarily asking me, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Or how did you feel after you did that? So I feel like if there's anything I wish they had done much different. Of course, kids would be naughty. Your dad will tell you to do some things. You play, you run away. Or you just do very crazy stuff. But beyond beyond him reprimanding me for actions or discipline and punishment, I feel like I would have really loved it better if he had asked more questions. So why didn't you do this at this particular time? Why did you struggle? But again, I'm really I would say I consider myself quite lucky because my mom brought in that balance. So my mom was the soft one, and then it was like a good cop, bad cop. So my mom brought in that dynamics. So if there was anything I would have really loved my dad did more, would be that a bit more prompting, not just, do this, do that, but more of like, okay, now, why didn't you do that? Like, could you run me through your thoughts?
Okay.
I would really love that.
Okay. So you're saying that you'd have loved a more conversational relationship than an instructional relationship. So he was always instructing, but there was never a time he came to know why you did this thing this way, why you didn't do it that way. And he didn't hear your thoughts. You always heard his, but he never heard yours. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, is there anything you want to tell a young father who is maybe a first-time dad, who is parenting a 1-year-old, and you're saying maybe a girl child, what you did that about the girl child, and anything like that?
What I would say, if there's anything that I would say right now, it would be that people should really, the way we go to school to learn a particular course of study, to become a doctor, or even the way when you want to buy something online, the kind of due diligence you do.
Yeah.
What's the best store? What discounts can I have? Is there anything I could do? Like, you do research because this is particularly important to you. I feel like a lot of people feel like parenting is automatic. Like, when you give birth, then you just love a child. Anybody can give birth to a child, but not everybody can really raise a child. So I would recommend that people take parenting more deliberate. Like, if you have to take a course on parenting, if you have to read books, if you have to question thoughts, I think that would be really something I feel like we can do better, or new parents, young parents can really do better. Committing time to really studying this concept of parenting. What am I doing better? What can I do better? Let's not just leave it to intuition. Of course, you love your child and you will be a good dad. Yeah, that would be fine. That would be one thing I would like to just recommend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been so good. Thank you for coming on the show with us. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and thank you so much for your experience and sharing your experience here with us. We truly appreciate, and we look forward to having you again on our show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you too. Okay, friends, I am sure you heard that. So the first one we said, gift to, my friend, I mean the person we called, I didn't want to mention her name, I'm sorry about that. So she came here and told us, number one, her father was physically present, but was absolutely absent in every other sense, but was physical without any form of influence. Now we are hearing from the second caller who is saying, yes, my father was amazing, he had some things he did well, taking me to school, all that, and that is to say that, dear dad, the thing that really matter, the things that will make true difference and might not be the big things. And this is not to say you should not do the big things. This is saying that while you are doing the big things, do the small things too. The big things might not come always, but the small things can come always. Do you understand? The small things can come always. Things as simple as making sure your daughter's clothes is ironed. I mean, I know you have nanny, you have this one. It can be just your way of saying, okay, every Monday, every Tuesday, I am going to be the one to iron your screening from myself, dress you up, get you ready. You don't have to do it every day, like I said. If it is only once in a week that you can do it and the child sees you while you're doing it, you're having a conversation with the child, you people are joking, you're playing, I can tell you till the day that child dies, the child will not forget that my dad always sacrificed that day. Especially if you're a busy dad, you just say one day in a week. I'm not saying every day in a week. I'm not saying you should not go to work. I'm not saying you should not make money. I'm not saying you should not go for the deals. I'm saying that's something that it looks very small, but by the time you do it over and over again, you are depositing in the trust bank of your children, that every time they remember it, they see it just blows their mind. Now for this caller, it is something as simple of walking her to school when she was in nursery, in primary, and then when she entered secondary, their father will drive her to school. Something as simple as that. Going to school, you drop them and you continue. And maybe you are listening, daddy, and maybe driving your children to school is not obtainable. It's not something you can do. I just gave you an idea. It could be simple things like every Monday, every Friday, every Thursday, I'm going to be the one to iron your school uniform, polish your shoes. I know you have a nanny, I know you have caregivers, that is why you're paying them. You have a help, that's why you're paying them. But you can just do that. You're not doing it because you want the people to feel you want your money you pay them to waste. You're doing it because you want to be involved in a way in your child's life. You want to mark your child's life. It might not even be ironing school uniform. It might not be dressing them up. It can be that every Friday night I want to have dinner with my children. Something as simple as that. It can be every Thursday. Once if your schedule is so tight that you can't find a particular day to keep to it, you can say every week we are having one dinner together. So you come back, you say this week my schedule is free on Thursday, so everybody is preparing for dinner with daddy. And this is for busy dads who don't have a lot of time on their table, in their hands. And it can be something as simple as every time you want to go make your hair or barb your hair, I will take you. In those times we walk around, we talk. Those moments are special. It looks ordinary, but over time they build a memory bank that the children cannot forget. So I'm saying that it is in the small things. It is not even in the big things. So number one, we saw that the first caller the father was physically present, but was absolutely absent. Absolutely. No way. There was no kind of presence in anything, in any way, but he was physically present and available in the house. Now the second one is saying it was even in the small things. In the small things as little as walking me to school, driving me to school. It was in the small things that marked my life. And in those times they will have conversations, they will bond together. And then she says something, there is one thing I wished my father did more. And she said, I wish my father had more conversations with me. Now I wish, and that thing she was saying was, That the father was more of an instructive person. So when the father is driving out or something, he's saying, don't do this, make sure you pass the exam, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, make sure that. But she's saying that I would have liked it more if he heard more from me, if he allowed me to talk, if he asked questions like, why did you do this, why did you do that, and try to hear her own thoughts on certain things, not just him speaking. So this is another pointer for that is this is the time for you to have conversations with your children. Don't try to be instructional alone, and then when they grow up you are wanting to be conversational. It will not work. A child that you're not building a conversational relationship with now, you will not do it when the child is 30. You will not do it when the child is 20. A child will not become a teenager and you want to now know what is happening in their lives. It will not work. This is the time to let them know that they can share their thoughts with you. They can tell you anything. They can be at peace with you. They can hear whatever you have to say, and they can also share whatever they have to say. You are building trust so that in the future they can also talk to you about the dirtiest things, about the toughest things, about the hardest things, and about the sweetest things. Don't be that father that it is only when they are already planning, when the thing is already done. I mean, there are people that is only when the man is ready to come and pay bride price, that's when the father knows. But all along the mother knew that there was a guy that this girl was liking, that is liking the daughter. They have been talking about it, praying about it, and they are coming to tell you at the dying minute, because of course you have not been involved in the children's life. So your own is only when everything is settled they will not come and tell you. That is not how it should be. A child should be able to trust the father from the beginning of the stage. In fact, I believe that if I had my way, if I had my father, if my father was alive, he would have been the first person to know about my relationships. I would have loved that he's the person I tell about my relationship, about the man, about who is liking me, about who I'm liking, about the things I think I'm saying in that guy that doesn't really make sense, and all that. And some of us who wish for those things do not have the privilege to enjoy those blessings. We never did have those privilege, and that is why I'm asking you that you are alive now. Let your children enjoy that privilege. You're not hearing from me alone. People have said from their own experiences, they have shared with you what they did with their fathers or what their fathers did with them that didn't go well. And I am happy that we are able to have this conversation. I'm going to call one more caller and we are off this topic this night. Thank you again for joining me, and let's go on a 2 minutes break. Thank you.